welcome to Firearms of America. Today I am back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to do a review of something very special. Yes, not your regular handgun review today, because today I am reviewing this, and this is Garaysar Fear 105 Bullpup 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun. Wow, that was a mouthful. Shotgun. Yes, and I absolutely love this thing. Now, I'm not gonna be actually shooting it here because this range is designed only for a handgun ammo, but I did shot this before, so you will see some footage of me shooting it in the outdoors range. So let's begin the review. Let me tell you guys, I absolutely love this thing. Everything you are getting for the price is fantastic. First of all, you probably noticed you are getting this really good. No, this isn't my case. This case is what you are getting with the brand new purchase. Pretty awesome. You get 2 magazines. You get a nice little something, some kind of attachments for the barrel. And then of course, wait. You also get the stop sign, which is good to have, why not? And then you are getting the shotgun with the flip up sights already mounted, as you can see. Ta-da! Very impressive. So let's begin the review. Let's start with usual stock. We got our grip here, ergonomic grip. Not a lot of aggression going on here, but there is a decent design with some more or less aggressive stippling. The stock, we do have a very good rubber pad, so it makes it for a very comfortable grip. And speaking of the grip, you probably notice a nice little front grip as well. Makes it very easy. Now, what is really a bullpup design? Well, bullpup is it is referred to everything where the action happens behind the trigger. So you have your trigger over here, but all the action is happening right here. So what is so special about the bullpup design? Well, let's talk a little bit about the keyword bullpup. Where does it come from? What does it mean? Well, bullpup, as some firearms experts say, is referred to back in the day when they were referring to little bulldog puppies. All right, so you're thinking, so what it has to do with a firearm? Well, bulldog puppies, small, ugly, although I think this thing looks beautiful, but very aggressive nevertheless. And that's kind of what these firearms, these types of bullpup firearms, kind of are. They are much more maneuverable. Why do I pick the hardest words to pronounce for me? Jeez. Maneuverable, all right? Because, for example, right here, it's almost 20-inch barrel. Yes, believe it or not, almost 20-inch barrel with overall barely 30 inches of total length, which, if you think about it, is very impressive. And that's really because all the action in the chamber is happening right here in the back. Now that's, of course, allows it to be more compact, right? Your 20-inch barrel, but still very compact. I can even fit in this little 35-inch cubicle, whatever, with the hole, with my grip being perfect. And then obviously saving on the weight. Now this, without the magazine in it, is about, let me tell you exactly, barely, not even 9, it's 8.6. So with the magazine, with 5 rounds magazine, which is what this comes with, 2 5-capacity magazines. Probably about 9 pounds. Pretty good, very impressive, very lightweight overall. So let me give you a little bit of some shooting footage, and then we'll come back to talking about the shotgun.
I love it. You're gonna light them up now. Hey. Right there.
Can I do the same as that?
Right there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Had to ruin it, didn't you, Frank?
So, as you can see, I was not the only one who was impressed with the shotgun. Let's get back. Let's talk about the magazines and mag release overall. Now, magazines, like I said, it does come with two 5-round magazines, which you can have a 10-round magazine, 15-round magazine, you can get a drum. There are a lot of different variations. These are the tactical magazines that are, for the most part, standard, and you will find these magazines on most of the semi-automatic shotguns out there. So they are interchangeable. And like I said, these are tactical, so you do have the attachment, Picatinny rail type of attachment. Now, honestly, I do not know what you would put on one of these. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What would you put on the bottom of these magazines? What kind of attachment? But one of the downsides, we're speaking about the Bullpup design in general. I talked about the benefits. Obviously, more compact, easier to maneuver. Another thing that I could think of whenever it comes to bullpup weapons in general, especially with this shotgun right here, is because the center of mass is located, because you have your magazine here in the back instead of being at the front, you have all the action, most of the heavy stuff is happening here at the back. The center of mass is closer to your body, so it's much easier, much more intuitive to move around with this thing. Definitely much more intuitive. Now, this is the benefit. Let's talk a little bit about some cons, right? Cons. Whenever it comes to the magazine, of course, you probably, you already noticed the magazine is at the back, so it makes it a little bit trickier, because most of us are used to having the magazine go somewhere at the front and then ready. So here you have it at the back, so it kind of takes a little bit of adjustment. The magazine release button is right here, right above the magazine. Now you can, however you want, you can use your pointing finger, you can use your thumb. I prefer using the thumb. Most of the times people have complaints with the bullpup weapons that you can't really have that drop magazine type of action. So you're shooting, right? For example, with this one, 5 rounds, and then you need to quickly release the magazine without messing and just put in the next one. You actually can do it. Check it out. I did it in this video.
Let it up, Frank.
Nice.
Nice gun, man.
Hey, Rob. Not too shabby.
So as you can see, it is definitely doable. You can definitely quickly release the empty mag and put in the other one. Again, I think it all comes down really to the muscle memory. So as long as you're used to this type of magazine replacement, you should be good. But let me give you another benefit of the bullpup weapon, specifically of this shotgun. Again, because of the action that is happening very close to your body, so to your shoulder, right? It takes much less time for the recoil transfer to your shoulder, right? So what that does, it makes the muzzle raise, right, from the recoil much less. If that makes sense. All right, so that's another benefit. But let's get back to the shotgun itself. Let's talk about the slide rack. All right, so slide rack we got on this side. So basically your action is going to be not too hard to rack. The handle is actually very nice. I do like it. And actually it kind of does look like it is reversible, so you can, looks like you can put it on facing the other way around in case if you prefer this type of racking instead of this type of racking, which you most of the times that's what you're going to find on most of the rifles, most of the semi-automatic shotguns. The racker is on the other side, so you kind of do that turn. Yeah, you probably noticed there is a thumb safety switch. So right now it's in the red position, it's in fire, and this is how you switch it to the safety, which I think is very, very smart. Garaysar did a great job here. This is how it is supposed to be. So if it isn't safety and you really need to switch it quick, it's much easier to turn it off the safety rather than turning it in the on position, if that makes sense, right? So you're walking around, you're ready to fire, bam, from the safety, fire. Speaking of fire, let's talk about the trigger, because that's one of the other things most of the times you see people complain about whenever it comes to the bullpup weapons. And most of the times the trigger is actually, let's just say on the stiffer, not as crispy side. Why? Because as you can see, the trigger is located so far from where the action is happening, so the trigger assembly has to be obviously much more longer, if that makes sense, until it gets to where it needs to be. So obviously with all of those parts involved, bigger parts, longer parts, you have a heavier trigger. Not the case here with the shotgun, because check it out. Check out this trigger. So you have about, I would say, 1.5, maybe even 1 millimeter of very familiar travel, nothing crazy, right? And then, snap. I love this trigger. It's a fantastic, excellent trigger. For the price of this shotgun, this is an unbelievably good trigger. Honestly, I expected way worse. Just look at that. This, you're taking the aim, bam, that's it. I love it. It is really good. Now, let's speak about the sights a little bit. Flip up sights, very easy operation. All you do is you have buttons on both ends, right? So release buttons. There's a button on this side and there is on that side, which does not want to work as good as on this side, which is fine because this is the side that I'm using, and the same thing on the back. So these sides, and bam. And you have, these sides have very good adjustments. As you can see, there is an adjustment wheel here for the elevation, and there is an adjustment wheel on the rear side for the windage. Pretty good. Now, very good sides, very intuitive, very easy to, I mean, you don't even need to adjust to these sides. Honestly, they are just great. But overall, the shotgun feels awesome in your hands. And you probably already noticed there is a cheek rest, adjustable cheek rest. So yeah, you can adjust it to your liking, which would be a little bit lower for me. There we go. I love this thing. Obviously, you notice the Picatinny rail if you want to mount, which I think would be a pretty good option. If you could find, which really pretty much anything you get for an AR-15 or something like that, a red dot system that lines up, that co-witnesses, the proper word, with these flip-up sights would be fantastic. And maybe even a magnifier, because why not? I would even stick in maybe on here with you know, one of those L-shaped Picatinny rail attachments, a flashlight. That would be pretty good, I think. Now, of course, after you're done shooting, you have, you know, with your mag release, you have your release of the here. So whenever you're kind of like in the AR-15, once you're done with a magazine. You don't really need to rack it once again in order to get the next round into the chamber. All you do is you press this button right here, which works perfectly well as well. Really just like everything else really on this shotgun. And you probably noticed there is already a sling attachment on the bottom. I mean, it comes really with everything you need to, you really don't need to do anything with this. However, one little, before we move on from this shotgun, I just want to keep going about it. Before we move on from this shotgun, however, I wanted to point out one other con of having a bullpup weapon. They're not very lefty friendly. Well, they're not very leftist friendly either, but they're definitely not lefty friendly, unfortunately. They're not very ambidextrous. And one of the reasons for that is, well, the mag release is not ambidextrous, the safety is not ambidextrous, the slide racker might be ambidextrous, but not 100%. The flip-up sides are kind of ambidextrous, but don't really work on the other side as good as these ones. And at the end of the day, you have a shell flying in your face. If that wasn't enough, you have a shell flying in your face. Yes. And if even that wasn't enough, you have a slide racker going straight into, well, I mean, not straight into your face, but pretty close. So I wouldn't risk doing the lefty stuff with this shotgun. I wouldn't risk doing leftist stuff with this shotgun either. So, overall, let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this Garaysar Fear? I mean, listen, even the name, Fear. I love this thing. In fact, I love it so much that I bought one. This is my shotgun. Yes. Garaysar, Turkish brand. So far, I have been Tisas, I have done Canik, I have done mask holsters, so accessories from Turkey. Great job, Turkey. Garaysar, better than really. When it comes to shotguns,